Mountain Girl Studio, and I'm coming today to do a tutorial on the tabs or the labels and tags that I had made with the metal backing. I had a few ladies wanting to know how I made them, so I thought I would go ahead and do a little tutorial. I was going to try to go live for the first time just to say I went live, and then I never have to say I've never done it. But I have my little doggy, and he has a spinal cord injury, and so I'm taking care of him right now. My husband is not here to help me. He had to be in town for the day. So he is sleeping right now, so I thought maybe this would be the time to try to do it. So anyways, I have a little cup here, a little jar here full of some labels and tags, and all the ones you see in here are from Tracie's kit. That's from Love Junk Journals, and let me see which ones I use. I had it out here. Oh, here we go. So I use the Botanical Specimen Ephemera and the random text labels that are in here. And if you're interested in using those, head over to Etsy to Love Junk Journals by Tracie Fox and download those and print them out, and you can do what I'm doing. So, like I said, I came up with this idea because when I want to embellish something or make something more sturdy, or I don't have something, I'm always scavenging my own place around here, trying to figure out how to embellish or make something more sturdy. And I love the look of metal tags and labels, like the office ones or the lab ones. And so I thought this was, I had a can sitting here, so I was like, oh my gosh, why can't I use the can? It's pliable, it wouldn't be that hard to work with. I think it's, you can cut it. So I'm going to try to keep the label out of the camera. I did kind of mark it out and whatnot, but so I'm going to try to work around that. So anyways, you're going to need a can, some labels, or whatever you're going to back with metal. Can opener. I did these two ways, and I did this technique with the can a long time ago, like a month or two ago, so I'm not quite sure what I used to glue it, but I'm going to try the glossy accents, and I do have a metal glue, and if you guys do not own this, I would own it in your arsenal of glues because it is amazing. Like I said, I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but I do love it. So we're going to do those, and then some metal duct, this is like HVAC taping. You can find it at Lowe's or Home Depot. I've had this for years, and like I said, it was just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to try to use that instead of using an aluminum can. But the only setback on this, you only have this much room to work with, which is, I think, a little, let's see, about a 2-inch strip width. So, if you need a bigger piece, you're going to have to use a can, which is a little bit, wider. But I just used this on the journal I just finished. On the back of those tags, I used this metal tape. So I'm going to show you how to use both ways, so you know how to do it both ways. You're also going to need some Tim Holtz scissors. I like these the best to cut the metals because it's serrated and it doesn't give that super sharp edge. I also, if I do have a super sharp edge, I have a file for metal. I have an awl just to poke a hole for the tags, and I do have tin snips too. I have like a marker to mark and a brayer. Definitely the tin can is the harder way to go, and if you're using just Tracie's little embellishments or somebody else's labels or tags, you're pretty much going to, have enough room in this 2-inch width. So what you want to do, we'll start off with the can, we'll get that one going. So you take your can opener and you're going to insert your can opener in the lip of your can, okay, and you'll see why I do this. You're just going to push down like that, and then you're just going to roll it. I might have to move the tab here. This is the way I learned how to take a top off a can, like a pop can, because you're left with a soft edge. Unless yeah, there you go. You might have to file that down. But so be careful. You will have sharp edges. But this just gives me a go point, and I don't have a sharp edge. That's just how I do it. You can, if you wanted to upcycle cans, you can fill this up with wax, or you can fill it up with citronella candle wax. You just pour that in here if you want like a different kind of decoration, and with a wick, and you can, so it's good to put outside for mosquitoes. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I went that way, but I did. So then I'm going to start off with my tin snips. You can get these at Michael's. I believe that's where I've gotten these. I think I got them in the jewelry section. There's just a really strong tin snip. And then make sure the labels are out of the way. Then I just went down. And you'll basically need them more for the first cut, like to get this going. And then, let's see, what else did I do? Okay, so then I think I took this circle part off next. Let's make a V shape here to get into this can. I guess I'm going to try to hide the label. Oh my goodness. I guess it's hidden with the tape, but... Okay, so you got the top off, and make sure you're cleaning the can. I thought this was a clean can, but it still has residue in it, but it's dry. So then the next thing I did is I cut down, and you can wear gloves. Like, I haven't cut myself yet, but it's not saying I won't. So I would wear some gloves if I were you. Safety first. And then I cut the bottom off. Like I said, you want to be very, very, very careful while doing this, because you are cutting sharp, super sharp edges right now. And they're jagged, so. I just kind of work my way through. Okay. I discard this part because it's thicker metal. And then I do open it. Okay, this is going to be difficult. Let's see here. And then I open it like this. We'll turn it this way. And then I need to cut this part off so I can get it flat, right? Because that's going to be hard to use this sheet if I don't get this. I want to see if I can use my tin Holt scissors now. I love Tim Holtz scissors. They cut really well. And they kind of knock down the sharpness of your edge, but you still will have a sharp edge. So hard to do it this way. So I don't have to show the label, but I just don't want to go through all this work and then my video gets flagged or something because I showed the label of a soda brand. So I'm going to flatten this out with a brayer now, but I'm going to flip it on the other side and do it really quick. You're just trying to get it to where it's not rolling. Just trying to get it straight. So sometimes I'll just take it and roll it the opposite way. I'm just trying to create a sheet, and you could probably go buy a sheet this thin somewhere at Lowe's or something. I just, like I said, I upcycle a lot of times, and especially now living out in the wilderness, I don't have ready available stores. I am now, let's see, an hour to 3.5 hours away from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. Actually, I have a Joann's 30 miles away, but it's a very small Joann's. It's not a big Joann's whatsoever. So yeah, so I have to think outside the box, you guys, and that's a good way to do it. Like I always said, if you're comfortable in what you're doing, you're not challenging yourself. So I always, you know, it's fun to challenge yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off the back of here. I just put that tape on there because I didn't want to show the label. So I've got the metal cut out of the can. I brayered it out. Like I said, you can use the shining or the backside. Just use a solvent. Maybe acetone might work. I'm not sure. I haven't tried anything yet. Excuse me. And then get your pieces. And okay, so you're gonna take your tag or your label, whatever you want, and you're going to. So what I did, let's see. I actually drew on the other side for the size, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So what I did is I put it on this side, traced around it, and cut it out. But since I'm worried about the labels in front, I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down here and then cut it out. So I think, like I said, I think I used glossy accents. Let's try it, because, you know, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm always doing things on the spur of the moment. You could try, this gets a little clogged up. You could try fabric tack. I don't know, I haven't tried that yet. You could try PVA glue. But glossy accents I think people use for metals. So I think maybe I did use that. Like I said, this is an amazing glue too. It's just really sticky. If you ever use the Tombow glue, the other brand, or the other kind of Tombow glue, the paper glue, it's really sticky and it's hard to, once it gets on your hands, it's really hard to get off. It's just like kind of rubbery. So anyways, you're going to just stick that down. Try not to leak any out. Like I said, be very careful. Wear gloves if you need to, if you feel unsafe. Maybe I should have tried it this way, because last time I traced everything out and then cut them out. But I think this might be easier because I did that with this stuff, and I'll show you how. Like I said, I'll show you how I did it with that. You could even brayer it, you know, just to get it down there. Let's see here. Just trying to get the excess off. And I do have one of those little remover that grabs up the sticky stuff. So. And before I did that, I just, like I said, I inked the edges. And I don't know if I said what I inked the edges with, because I've had to start this video over a couple times, so I'm so sorry. But I use this kind of distress ink because archival ink and it doesn't bleed. So this is amazing. If you don't have this palette, I highly recommend this palette. So I think that's going to work, you guys. It's not moving. Seems like it's stuck on. So then take your Tim Holtz scissors, and I use Tim Holtz scissors because it has a serrated edge on it, and it doesn't leave such a sharp edge. So I kind of like to leave just a tiny bit peeking out to give it more of that tag, metal tag look. And not just, you know, not a lot, and you don't have to be perfect with it. But I just leave like a very, you see that? Just a tiny, tiny bit. So then I go over on this side, do the same thing. Just take your time. Don't try to be in a rush. Okay, so there's those two sides. And the end parts are usually easier because they'll go quicker. So it's shorter. So there's one. Now this is a little bit sturdier than the metal tape. but it's not bad. So then I just kind of brayer it. There you go, you guys. Now this is something I would use in a book and then glue flat down. Now if I was making this a tag, I wouldn't want to have this back, right? So I'm going to use the other side of the tin to, if I wanted to dangle, because you don't want that showing. Unless you take, like if you guys find a solvent that takes this off, let me know. Like I said, I think Lorelle suggested acetone. I haven't tried it yet. I don't even know where it's at. But if you use a solvent, I'm pretty sure you can find something to take this off. But I forgot to mention that. So I put it on this side because I know that this is probably going to go inside a journal and it's not going to be a tag or a dangle. But if it is going to be a dangle, let's see if I can find a part of this tin. Doesn't have. Just let me cut off a little piece here. Okay, so if you're going to use, and this is, like I said, it's thicker. So if you're going to use these as a tag, I sanded mine off, some of the labels, or some of the paint, just where I knew it would peek through. But it didn't bug me too much, but I did sand it off. Like I said, you could find a solvent. I just haven't tried the acetone yet. I don't know what else solvent you would use. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know other than acetone. But what I did is I just kind of shaved off the coloring, or even cut it a little bit. So, anyway, so you're just going to shave off see, you don't need to shave off that much, just what you'll see. So, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the glossy accents, which it seemed to be perfect, so that's good. I need one of those fancy dangles from my glossy accents like everybody else has. Oh no, is that for the art glitter glue or this one? I can't remember. Everybody has a Misty from Mac Jewelry, makes amazing dangles. So if you don't follow her, go to her channel. She makes amazing dangles for your glue bottles. She's an amazing beater. So you're going to do the same thing. And for me to save cutting, I'm just going to butt that up and leave a little bit of the metal showing through. So then I only have to cut 2 sides instead of 4. Because this is pretty straight. I cut that pretty straight. So I'm just going to move it. This glue gives a little bit of moving time. And if I trim it up a little bit, I will. Or else I can just file it too as well. So then, take your brayer. Be careful you don't move it. The glue's still wet. That kind of slid over there a little bit. There. So just be careful. And I kind of just flatten it out here. Yeah, it works pretty well. And then, like I said, I just, I'm saving time, so I'm not like being total craziness perfection when you're doing a tutorial. I'm just trying to get you the idea, and then I can work on ones later that are more perfected. But so you're just going to come in and, like I said, you're just going to leave a little tiny hangover. So this sands off pretty easy, like this aluminum can. But like it'd be easier if you could just clean it up really quick with a solvent. So, like I said, I haven't tried anything yet. Like I said. And it doesn't really even show, you guys. I might trim this one just a little bit right here. Like I said, these scissors work so amazing, and they are sharp still. So you gotta be careful, but the Tim Holtz scissors has that little serrated edge when it cuts. It doesn't leave it super sharp, but if it does, and you're still uncomfortable with it, because I don't want anybody that buys my work to be cut, I'll even dull it down a little bit more. But it's metal, you guys. And then I also will take down the corners just a little bit with my file. So you don't have that really sharp, not enough to like not make it a corner, just a, you know, I don't round it off. I just take a little bit off to dull it. So there you go. So there's the back. So there you go, guys. So there's the back of the label. This would be a dangle, or it could be, you know, you could stick it on a journal. But you wouldn't want that as a dangle unless you had a solvent and you took that off, and then it's totally fine. But then I just take an awl and I'll just poke a hole in it. And you can use your, what was that, that big, I forgot what it's called, the crocodile. I have the big crocodile. You can also use that as well. And you just put a jump ring in there. Just where are my jump rings? Oh, they're there. Oops. So then you just take a jump ring. And then you open it up. And there you go. So there is your label turned into more of a sturdy metal tag. And then other things that I would like to do, like I said, I have some in here that are having caustic wax over them. Oh, here's one. What I would do is dip your wax, or dip this in caustic wax, then fuse it, then let it dry, and then put it on your metal. That's what I did the last time I did the encaustic. Or you could put it on the metal and then brush on your encaustic wax and then infuse it. That would work as well. Or you could, I like things shiny, like make it more of a tag, more, I like bringing shininess to some things. So I would even maybe take this a step further and put, I have some medium that's like a really fine crackle, but it's gloss. Or you could use this 3-dimensional, the glossy accents, and it's self-leveling. You can put that on top of there and create a, like a, you know, a shinier tag, which would be a lot of fun. Or you could, you know, so many possibilities, but this is just a base to something different. And like I said, they look so cool hanging on the side of a journal or in a signature on one of the cover pages. So there's that, you guys. So that was the metal aluminum can. And the next one will be done with, let me get these pieces out of here. We'll be done with this HVAC tape that I had for forever. So let me move this stuff out of the way. And this is a lot simpler, you guys. So it depends on how much sturdiness you want. Like I said, this is a lot sturdier than this HVAC tape. It's pretty thin, so I had to double it up. You can get this at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's over in the HVAC section. So it comes in a ton. So you'll have to cut out your tags or your labels. And I distress the edges with the ink that I showed you that I use. And then you can do a lot with this at one time. So what I did is I rolled out the tape. And you're going to need something to hold it back here, like a little stopper. And then you're going to peel back the backing. And I kind of just crease it over. Let's put it this way. You got to be really careful, guys. This is little tedious tape, and it's super, super sticky. So you're going to have to be careful. So what I do is I just trim up afterwards. So I kind of just stick it on. Stick all my labels on. And they don't have to be straight like that. It's really crooked because I'm working at an odd angle here. But what I do is I just stick them on this stuff. I do several at a time. Let's see. Let's get some little labels here. And I try to use up as much space or as much of the tape as I can. And let's use an encaustic one. It has wax on it. put another one. It's small. No. Okay, so then after you've filled up your tape, I cut it off. Okay, and then I work on, a lot of times, this is my nicer one. I have a dirty, grungy one on the silicone pad, and what I did is, I have to get rid of this piece here. You see the stuff has super sticky. So I flip it over because it won't stick to the silicone pad. It comes up pretty easy. I mean, I don't like push it down, but I just work on that because I burnish the back. And then just take something that you can burnish with. This is like an old debit card here. So I just smooth the back, and I don't, you know, scratch it. And I'm just, see, it pulls up pretty easy. So I don't know, this is just what I did. This is just how I did. You asked how I did it, and this is how I did it. Like I said, be careful and scratch it. This stuff scratches really well, or easy. I just kind of, and if you have an air bubble, because some of, when you, oops, I scratched a little bit. If you get an air bubble, just take a needle and just poke a hole in it, and then run your smoother, smooth it out, and it'll come right out. And then sometimes you can try brayer. That'll work too, I guess. So there you go. There's the first part of that. So then what I do is, after that, I take my aluminum tape again and put my stopper there. Open it up to the length of your previous cut. And like I said, I'm not the best. I don't do a lot of tutorials because I'm just, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a very good teacher. I say that all the time. And like I said, practice does make better. And maybe I'm getting a little bit better, but you know, there's Donna from, what's her channel? Oh my goodness. See, this is what happens. Junk Journal Ideas. She's an amazing teacher. Donna, she's just, her presentation, and she's just so good at teaching. So what you want to do is you want to get this on there again, and you could do another layer if you want to if it's not thick enough, but two seem to work for me. And you're going to cut it off. Cut your piece off. Okay. You're going to put your stuff away. And then, so be careful it doesn't, I don't know, I leave a corner sometimes, so it's easier to, this stuff's crazy, I told you. It's super sticky. I don't know, we'll fold that over. Okay, then, you want to do the same thing. Flip it over and smooth it down. So this is going to be your back. And then I do the same thing. Just smooth the back out. Well, I might have to pause, so bear with me, you guys. My dog just got up. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oops. Try not to scratch the back like I'm doing. Like I said, I'm more of in a hurry. And this is kind of peeled up. This is, see, this tape is not made for, you know, art, so it might have some flaws in it, but it's very pliable, and so it does bend back that way. Sorry if you hear my dog drinking water. He's doing better. Okay, so after you smoothed it out, you're going to have this, and like I said, it is sticky, but, so just be aware of that. And I'm going to do the same thing how I cut it out with the other, out of the pop can. So I'm going to leave a little bit of an overhang. Sorry guys, and this is a little bit stickier stuff. So I cut with the Tim Holtz scissors because I think they're like a Teflon coating. I'm not sure, but they don't seem to stick. I tried to use another pair of scissors and they were just sticky. And like I said, I like that the Tim Holtz scissors have that serrated edge on them. Okay. So, like I said, I just get as close as I can, but just, I like to leave like a little bit. So, and I just pull it off. Don't be careful you don't pull too hard though, because this tape will tear. It's very thin. It's not like the pop can. And this doesn't stay sticky, like the little edge. I love that. Look at that. I love how the metal just peeks out, overhangs just a tiny, tiny bit. Because you don't have to be super perfect, but because it'll roll over a little bit, but I'll try to get in there. Perfect. So yeah, so there's that one. Then I'll cut out this one. So I hope everybody's doing good. Where I'm at, we're opening up my state in stages. So everything, you know, stay-at-home order lifted today. And then everything will coincide a week by May 7th. So they're doing it week by week. I'm still not sure if it's by district if they go back or not. So, and yeah, so it's been crazy. I live out in the mountains, so I'm probably in the safest place. There's not a lot of people out here. There's a few, handful, and so yeah. So I hope everybody else is doing well and being safe. I know some states are going to be closed, I think, like the end of May. I'm not sure. Just depending, like New York, I think they're closed until the end of May. I hope they're doing better. I don't know. I don't watch the news. Like, I watched it to know what I need to know, and then that's about it. That's all I'll say about that. But I do try to just keep myself informed of what I need to do. Sorry, you guys, my voice is a little crackly. Had very late nights at the bait with Solly. He's a 5-year-old French bulldog, and his injuries are fresh, so we've had to totally adapt to a new lifestyle with him, which he's in such high spirits. He's such a good boy. So he got back in his bed, so he's doing good. He's been dragging himself, and he's very strong in the front end. So we have a wheelchair coming for him tomorrow, and I'm sure he can't wait to get back into running after rabbits and birds and all kinds of animals out there. Okay, guys, so this was the encaustic, so I probably wouldn't put anything over that. You can see how it's kind of a matte finish. I love encaustics. And for those who are new to my channel, I have a camera that doesn't allow close-ups no matter what I do. So it's a different kind of camera. It's a nice camera, but it's not a recording camera. But anyways, so here you go, guys. So here is one with encaustics with the metal tape. This is just playing with the metal tape on the back, and they're pretty sturdy. And one thing is I do the same thing. I just add, you can use an awl or your crocodile. And then add a jump ring. And I did glue my labels in the last journal that I just released. I did glue them in with the Tombow metal glue. Oops. So there it is, you guys. They look so cool as jewelry on the spine, even on the inside. And like I said, you could use glossy accents, you could use decoupage, you could, glue glossy, sealant over it. It's endless. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Like I said, I am not the best teacher, but I'm trying. So I do like to share some of my ideas that I have with you guys, because it is fun to share ideas, because I like to see your guys' take on them. It's been a lot of fun seeing everybody do the little snippet paper clip tabs, and so that's been fun to see. But so I hope you guys will give this a try. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it just adds something different to labels and tags, and it just added some stability. So yeah, you guys, so thank you for joining me. If you stayed to the end of this, I really appreciate it. I will have a few pictures of these little things at the end. I'll just take a couple quick phone shots and then put it at the end of this video so you guys can have some pictures at the end. So I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you everybody who has commented and left me messages about my little dog. I really appreciate it. You guys have been so supportive. Thank you to all my new subs. I wouldn't be here on YouTube without you, and I really appreciate it. And whoever subs to me, I do support back, so know that I do sub to your channel as well. And I hope everybody is safe and well, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.